Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Those who have already joined, we still have a couple of minutes to go. So let's hang in there. All right, good afternoon. Just got a couple more minutes to go. All right, I've got 11 o'clock on the dot. Let me go ahead and connect my terminal here, and we'll get started. All right. Let me go ahead and zoom in. All right. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are. This is Cesar Rivas. I'm the National Sales Executive for Sound Payments, and I represent the solution of Sound POS. All right. So thank you again. This is our fifth workshop, actually. Let me make sure that I am not muted. Okay. Last Wednesday of every month. Okay. And at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So like I said, I know that for some of you is actually morning time still. Some of you is afternoon already. So welcome. The idea of this workshop once a month is for me to highlight certain specific type of retailers, as well as certain specific functions from our POS. So the first 15 minutes, I focus around that. So it would be new material. And then the last 15 minutes, really, I talk about kind of a quick sales pitch. All right. So if you've already been on some of these workshops, you know that you only need the first 15 minutes because the second part of it is you've already seen before. Remember also that you can also access these recordings if you go to our YouTube channel, Sound Payments. You'll be able to see the ones that I've done. I think I started back in May, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And the idea is that we provide you, the reseller, the ISO, the processor, the tools so that you can give a solution to your customer and be confident, you know, that it's something that they're going to be able to work with and maximize. All right. So today we're going to be talking about convenience stores. All right. It's a type of merchant that I use a lot, convenience store, simply because they've got the broadest range of products. Okay, so I'm able to show a lot of the adaptability of our POS solution through convenience stores. You know, they've got, for example, if we go to the actual my terminal here, let me go ahead and log in. Okay. I mean, you're going to see that I've got everything from prepared food, okay, hot dogs, ice cream. So it's got toppings, and you know, you get to choose all that good stuff. All right, so you've got the hot fudge sundae, you've got a gift shop. So I've got some, a hat and a shirt, which you can track inventory by the size. You of course got your candy, you've got your beverages, you've got both your bottled as well as your fountain, so you can actually add pricing based on the size of the fountain drink. And you've got your restricted age products like cigarettes, alcohol, and then we've got some other food, some groceries. All right. And the groceries, for example, beef jerky, which you can sell by ounce. So that's one of the reasons why, you know, I like to use the convenience store as a good demo because they've got that broad range of products. All right. So first thing I wanted to do today is I wanted to highlight reports. So we got really two different sets of reports. You've got the reports that are on the portal. So if you go to your store portal, you go to reports. Well, you actually have a report here on the catalog. If you go to products, you can actually export your inventory, the whole inventory here. And one of the things that I always highlight about Excel is our ability to move that data around so you can really view whatever you want to focus on. So for example, for this inventory report, it keeps track of everything, whether I do track inventory or not. But if I wanted to just view the stuff for which I track inventory, I go ahead and just put a filter in there. It's easy. And then I remove the stuff that's blank. And now I've got my inventory report with only the items for which I do track inventory. So that's one report that's available under the product function. But if you go into actual reports, under transactions is where you've got the majority of your reports. And you've got them both in detail and totals. So you've got your payment category, customer, employee, tax, and then you can also sort in many different ways. You can go back as far as you need to. So we'll do one for the last month, for example. You can choose a specific terminal. If you've got multiple stores, you can choose a specific store, a category, payment method, and so forth. And then when I go ahead and export, I'm going to go ahead and import transaction details, or export transaction details rather. You can see that it has all kinds of information about every single transaction. It's not just a single line item, but if I've added any type of toppings or modified pricing in any way, this is just one single transaction here. Okay. Now, if you wanted to see something a little more condensed, then you would just export the total one. Okay, and here you do have one line item per transaction, but it does still give you some additional info as far as additional fees and things like that. All right. So again, very, very powerful tool. Okay, and this is on the web portal. If you go to the terminal itself, you've also going to have a series of reports here, which you can use the printer on the terminal. You know, you got your transactions and so forth. You got your batch report even. And you even have a separate category for your end of day. You notice. So again, you can do your end of the day. You can look for your history on end of the day reports. I don't have any on this terminal itself. All right. And then you can print them out here. You also have the ability to export via email once you've set that up as well. All right. So again, when it comes to reports, very powerful tool that you can utilize both in your back office web portal, the seamless commerce, or on the terminal itself. All right. All right. Up next, I wanted to show you something about the customer management, which is a really powerful tool. And I'm going to do this on the terminal itself. Under customer management, you can actually manage your gift card programs, right? And I talk about that in another one of my workshops. But also, if you go into the actual customer, you have much more than just the ability to track their information. Let's look at testing guy. You even have the ability to put a picture if you wanted to. And remember, these terminals all have cameras, so you can actually just use the camera on the terminal to take a picture of the client. This way, you be rest assured that it's not an imposter. All right. You can provide specific discounts for your customers, or if you've created a price level, such as a specific group like veterans, you can include them there as well. You're able to register the date of birth, so they come in to buy an age-restricted product. You'll already have that information there, as well as all their personal information, of course. Now, another feature that's really powerful under the customer function is the ability to create credit accounts for your customers. So for this customer, I've issued them a $1,000 credit account. They have a balance due of $408.40 and available credit of almost $600. You can even view the detail, what they've done under the credit account. This is a really powerful feature too. In case you want to, for example, have any type of a layaway, you can do it through a credit account here. And when they apply payment, they don't have to apply payment to the full outstanding balance. They can choose how much they want and whichever form of payment they wish. The second really good function is the loyalty program. Okay, it's a points-based loyalty program, but it keeps track of how many points you generated or if you've made any purchases. Now, if you want to set this up as far as like customize it, you go to the web portal. Okay, and you should be able to go under configuration, store access settings, and store settings. Let me see here, I believe. So you can actually customize how many points are generated by how many dollars, and then how many points it takes to actually make a purchase. So it's not a set number here. You actually, or the merchant has the ability to control that ratio. All right. So those are two really powerful functions that I wanted to point out today under the customer function, both the ability to create your credit account as well as keep track of their loyalty. All right. And then I did want to actually do one last thing, which is I wanted to go into an age-restricted purchase so you can see how it works. All right. I mentioned that under this convenience store, we've got both cigarettes and alcohol. You can establish, if you go to the store level here, where we were before, you can set what age you want for the store, both on the customer side, as far as what they need to, how old they need to be to purchase stuff, as well as your employees to transact those purchases. But in all honesty, you can also do it at the individual product level. So even though this store has been established for 21 for purchase and 21 for sale for the employee, if you go to cigarettes, this is a little different. It's 18 and 18. And you can even set a customized age if you wanted to. All right. So going back to what it looks like on here, if I'm logged in as a customer, and I am going to log in as that test guy, go ahead and do a search for him, and then choose testing guy here. If I go to make a purchase of something that's age restricted, like alcohol, let me buy a lemonade there. It's already going to populate my age, but I can actually tap in that field and modify it if I needed to. Okay, so you can actually modify it. Once I verify age for one product and you buy a second product, like cigarettes, it's not going to ask me to verify age. It's just going to add it on there. So I've got my Marlboro and my hard mics. All right. So with that, I wanted to then pretty much conclude with this first section, okay, which again, went over convenience store, your different reports that you've got, your customer management function, as well as your age restricted transaction. All right. So for those of you who've been on here before, you know that now we go to the PowerPoint presentation, and I'll do a kind of a quick sales presentation on my own. All right. So everybody else who's able to join, thank you. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and send them to that email address that's on the screen, caesar.r@soundpayments.com, and I'll respond directly. Or if you want, you can actually use the chat function under your Zoom program. All right. All right. So again, you know, the second half is going to be more around how I would present our product. You know, we are out of Jacksonville. We only provide the solution. We are not a processor or anything like that. And these are really the main areas that I focus around whenever I do a presentation. You know, I always highlight the fact that under inventory, you can keep track in different ways or not keep track if you don't want to. You can keep track of a shirt, for example, that has the same barcode number for all three sizes. You can keep track just by the size. You can also keep track by ingredients such as hot dog, sausage, and a bun, and so forth. With the employees, I always like to highlight the ability to restrict access to the different functions, and then also the ability to keep track of hours. It doesn't calculate your payroll for you, but you're able to export in Excel format, which is usually compatible with any payroll processing software. Under the customers, I always like to highlight those two functions that I showed you today. The ability to keep track of a customer account with credit, as well as the ability to have a points loyalty program. All right. The sales tax, I always like to mention the ability to customize and create really any number of sales tax categories that you need. The fact that it is on the cloud, so all your data stored there, it's a safeguard. Your terminal goes down, you don't have to worry about reloading it manually. You just connect it to the same store, and automatically it'll download. But if you've got multiple terminals, it's also, you know, great tool because they'll communicate with each other as they conclude any sales or any updates are done. And then I also shared with you today the number of reports, the broad range of reports that you've got available, both on the terminal and on the web portal. And I showed you a little bit of the web portal, the ability for customers or for store owners to access their information and practically do anything they would do in a terminal, with the exception of running a sale. They can do it on their computer, on their tablet, or even on their cell phone, and it works seamlessly. All right. It is, as I said, we're not a processor, so we are processor agnostic, meaning that we are certified with all major payment processors. You can monitor real time because it's always connected to the web. And another feature is the ability to add services to the terminal without really disrupting the transaction. And it'll upload it in the background, and then when it's not running anything, it'll go ahead and update it. As I mentioned, you get complete control. On the left-hand side, you can see the two terminal screen layouts. The one on the top is the one that we use today for the A920, which is a portrait layout. And the one on the bottom is what you would see on the E700s, 800s, which is more of a landscape layout. On the right-hand side, you can see your dashboard at the top is on the computer screen, and at the bottom, what you would see if you're on a mobile phone. All right. The hardware that we use, they're all PAX devices. They all have multiple screens with the exception of a very portable one. So you don't have to be flipping them around or anything like that. They come with battery life. The ones that are countertop is only 10, 15 minutes. The ones that are portable, you do have a couple of hours of battery life. And you can even connect a SIM chip. They have the port for a SIM chip, so you can connect them onto a mobile network if you needed to. They've got really a broad range of applications as far as the different verticals. For the food industry, the only thing I always like to point out is the fact that it's not a full service restaurant type of application, the Sound POS. And the reason why is it does not have any type of a feature for reservations, for dining room layouts, or the ability to run multiple tabs. But it does work in the food industry. If you have, a quick serve, like a pizza place or a sandwich shop, a fast food place, a food truck, for example, it works great. Also, if you have any type of a storefront retail food, like a butcher or an ice cream parlor, it does work great. Otherwise, it really does cover a broader range of retail establishments. In the garments area, we've seen them utilized in boutiques. We've got an E800, which is really high end and it looks very sleek, for example. So for a high end boutique, it looks really well. And we've also seen it for secondhand stores as well. Remember, you're able to ring up stuff on the spot. So if they're not in their inventory or they don't exist in the inventory, it's very easy to add them at the moment of purchase. We also recommend it for grocery stores like mini marts, bodegas, and things like that. Now, this POS would not be advisable for a large multi-lane store where you need to have your payment terminal detached from your actual cash register, but it does work for the smaller ones. And then other retailers like hardware, tires, you can input products or services also into the POS. So very easy to manage that way. All right. It does provide 24/7 merchant support. So your customers, they'll have a 1-800 number they can call. It's right here in the States, so that they can get that first level merchant support. If there's anything that can't be resolved at the first level, they automatically escalate it to second level. You as a reseller, of course, have access to that advanced level support. We also have a kind of a one place visit all kind of our Sound Hub, where it's access really for you, for the reseller, not for the customer, not for the merchant, but you have resources in there that you can share with the merchant, such as user guides and videos and things like that. All right. You do receive app and firmware updates automatically, both for the PAX side of things as well as the POS side of things. And I got to say, our implementation team is extremely experienced, and we'll be able to roll out without any hiccups, really. So with that, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot an email to that address or write in your actual Zoom application. If you've missed any of the previous workshops, they're on our YouTube channel. Just go to Sound Payments on the YouTube and you'll find the other workshops there. And if you need a demo or anything like that, again, you can reach out to me directly and I'll set that up for you. All right. So again, with that, I want to thank everybody who's joined and enjoy the rest of the day.